Tuperas y tuperas today on DOOP by the River. What a statement your Philadelphia Union left up in Yankee Stadium. We're going to discuss the Union's last match against NYCFC. We're going to look ahead. It is international break, so the panel is going to let me know about the USM and discuss the frustrations of Colombia. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not go anywhere because you do not want to miss this episode of DOOP by the River. And let's get this started, guys. Done.
DOOP by the River
doesn't do anything well. There is not one.
I'm sorry. There was no creativity.
As a Union fan, I take that all day.
Another DP. We need to go get Mario Balotelli. And that is right. Welcome, everyone, to DOOP by the River, the show where we follow everything Philadelphia Union. And, of course, we are brought to you by Philly Sports Network. Before we dive into today's episode of DOOP by the River, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, make sure you guys hit that like button so we can push this out to some further Union fans. And, of course, subscribe to El Parcero Phillies YouTube channel. We always broadcast live on here, so make sure you guys subscribe and never miss out on an episode of DOOP by the River. And you're able to find DOOP by the River wherever you stream podcasts. You can find that on Apple, Google, Spotify. Find it under PSN Radio, and you can find all of your favorite Philly Sports Network podcasts. If I'm not mistaken, we need to give it out before we start off to Flip the Birds, Philly Sports Network, Philadelphia Eagles podcast. We got on new free agent acquisition Zach Pascal on their podcast. That's an epic interview right there. So make sure you guys are subscribed to PSN Radio. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us introduce to you today our panel of duping experts here. And first off, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome on Justin Gazdak for NYC Mayor Friedberg, who's fresh off of some U.S. Open Cup fever. What is up, Justin? How you feeling, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, last night Westchester United with the upset of FC Motown. That game was wild. Then I turn on the Ocean City Nor'easters game. The next night, oh my God, that was.
Oh, they lost on penalties. I didn't even see that.
Yeah,
they play
literally. It was so windy and rainy that there were some times where the PK taker would have to move the ball several times just to keep the ball sitting still long enough for them. It went, I think, 7 or 8 rounds. It was crazy, but U.S. Open Cup. After 2 years. First of all, thank God Atlanta can shut the hell up with the recurring championship. That got old after the first year. Haha, we get it. We don't have Open Cup this year, so they can shut up about that. But you always forget how the early Open Cup games are just bonkers. So there was some wild shit, but soccer. That's why they call it the beautiful game, and that's why these cup runs. There's always a Cinderella team every year that makes some kind of a run. So who knows it'll be this year?
Is ACFC in the U.S. Open Cup this year?
I don't think. I forget.
That's who I'm rooting for in this area. Other than
maybe it might be Maryland Bobcats because I know Maryland Bobcats won. I think it was NISA. So not sure. I forget how the qualifiers work.
Justin, there's in American sports, there's nothing like the U.S. Open Cup, right? You never because having an Orange County FC making it far into the tournament, you don't see anything like that. I guess March Madness to an extent, but it doesn't get the love it deserves.
Yeah, and then people forget it's the oldest tournament in this country. I mean, Lamar Open Cup has been around since the early 20th century. It is literally the oldest tournament in North America, and it's crazy that we haven't had a lower division team win it since what was it, the Rochester Rhinos, I believe.
The now rebranded
Martys FC,
New York, whatever it is.
I think they're in MLS Pro.
Yeah, they're playing.
Right.
They're playing in the first game against St. Louis on Friday night. And it's supposedly a sellout in St. Louis for it's their MLS affiliate down there, their second team, which will play a game with their first team. So
that's what we like to see, gentlemen. an expansion club or already having their MLS Next club already playing and seeing some support. That is definitely freaking awesome. Well, you already heard him.
You think Roman Berkey's gonna go play in MLS Next?
Hey, I don't know, but all I know is that Josh Yarrow is the captain for St. Louis. So got to
talk about former Union players on expansion teams. Like, yeah, what was it? Watching Charlotte beat New England this weekend, and Derek Jones subbing in, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, when did Derek Jones? And someone went, yeah, he was traded there like 3 days ago. I'm like, okay, at least I'm not like crazy. Like this just happened.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Well, you heard him already, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Tim Lovinguth to the show. Tim, it is always a pleasure seeing you, my brother. Yeah. I do have to bring it up because your lovely wife, I think it's fair to say she was the president of the Aurelien Collen fan club. And of course,
definitely in Philadelphia. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubting that.
And of course, he unfortunately, it's sad because we got the El Senior retirement, and now we got the Aurelien Collen retirement, hanging the boots up. How's the household holding up here today with this this news that dropped today?
Yeah, it's sad. It's gonna be fine though. He was already not on this team, and we were kind of talking about it when preseason was going on. We were like, all right, Colin's not on any of these rosters. He hasn't played in a preseason game. And based on his Instagram account, he was down in Venezuela with his wife.
Nice.
So I was like, yeah, I don't think he's coming back if he's down in Venezuela.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird that the club didn't announce anything until now. Maybe it was like hey, maybe he was saying, give me like a month, maybe I'll come back, and he just doesn't want to.
No, I think that's probably giving both of them. It's like, hey, you want to come back? You can, but here's the expectations of like.
Yeah, like he's gonna be. Pretty much fifth string because Brandon Craig is now a center back and playing well. So that's how that goes. But no, I mean he had his last years in Philly. In his final game, he almost did the unthinkable. He turned back the clock. He looked like the player in 2013 when he won.
Yeah, dude.
That was like him and Finlay were a lockdown pair, and it was just wild to see them playing so well. We're like, who is this Aurelien Collen? Like, this is really turning back the clock.
Yeah.
Guys, you know what's really impressive about Aurelien Collen's career? So he had a 14-year senior career, and then of course he played in his youth career. He played in Sudan. He played in Spain, obviously France. But then you look at his senior career. Started in Belgium. Went to Greece, went to Wales, went to Portugal, and then he obviously comes to the United States with the MLS, Sporting KC, Orlando City, the stinking energy drink team from New York, and of course the Philadelphia. That's kind of an impressive career that he put together, young Collen there, guys.
Yeah, he won pretty much everything. He won an MLS
he was
Cup.
On the
he won a US Open Cup with, I believe, Red Bull.
Yes.
I could be wrong about that. Did they not win? No. KC? No, sorry. They won a Shield. Yeah, he won a U.S. Open Cup with KC. He won the Shield with Red Bull, and then he won the Shield with the Union. So, yeah.
Remember, was he on the MLS Cup winning side? Was it him, Dom Dwyer?
Yeah. He was he scored a goal in that game and he won MLS Cup MVP. In 2013.
Yeah, it was bonkers. The team that they had with that roster in the early 2010s, it was just insane.
Sporting Kansas City was showing a video of his goal today. I always forget that a young CJ Pong was there as well.
Yeah, was it him and Dom Dwyer?
Dom Dwyer was there too, and Kai Kamara. That was their front line.
Bonkers.
Yeah,
I'll never forget when CJ was with SKC and he's spitting some game to Hope Solo. That's great throwback, CJ Sapong right there, guys. Well, gentlemen, let's move on to our current squad, because I don't know about you guys, but I truly felt like this past Saturday the Union really put together a monumental statement win, an early statement win against NYCFC. Obviously, 1 o'clock, Yankee Stadium. The lineup for the Union, as predicted, the usual pretty much 9 suspects. You had Andre Blake in goal, Wagner, Elliott, Glazes, and Harry on the back line. You had Flock, Martinez, Bedoya, and Gazdak as your diamond. And then, of course, Sergio Santos and Julie Carranza as the forwards. And then in this match, I really felt like the Union started off really fast. They set the tone. Obviously, you had that early scare with Talis Magno. That freaking Magno kid, jeez Louise, guys.
I'm trying to tell you, he's going to be good.
Yeah, but outside of that,
Harry will lock him down. So
yeah, but outside of that chance, he really just him and Castellanos were really off
in check.
I mean, they did play in Mexico, like
that is.
We'll
definitely get to that.
At like the quadruple sub at like 55 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. Well, then, of course, in the 12th minute, we get ourselves a free kick opportunity from Kai Wagner. Ball kind of squirts around in the box, and who else but our captain, Alejandro Bedoya, to bury that away. He gives the Yankee Stadium the good fish stuff to get everyone wound up. And then, of course, we get 20 minutes later, off a throw-in. And then, of course, Alejandro Bedoya gets the outlet pass to Nathan Harriel. And, gentlemen, what a dime of a Carlson to Daniel Gazdak to put that bad boy in. Oh my God. And then that's really was the difference there. And of course, in the second half, there was some chippiness, there was some back and forth. We had Castellanos getting into it. Blake. He had Sergio putting his hands on Castellanos' neck.
Disco might be looking at that one.
Yeah.
They're not. They're not actually.
Really?
They took a look at that altercation and they said that there's no further action for anybody.
Okay.
Wow, that is
kind of survived a little bit there.
Yeah,
as well,
yeah. I thought Sergio was going to get suspended.
Or they were just going to wait till Friday and be like, he's suspended the game.
Absolutely. So look, guys. So like this match to me, obviously people are going to bring up the whole CCL thing, and like that is definitely a bit of a factor, right? But when you consider the way the Union played Union soccer on Saturday, the way I looked at it, and they capitalize on an opportunity right here. And remember, we've never won in Yankee Stadium. We had ties, we've had draws, but we've never been able to walk out with 3 points. So I think, to me, when we're talking about going forward in the season and in the Union setting and asserting themselves and playing they're serious business this season. And I think this was definitely a great step. Tim, my man, let's start this off, brother. Like your biggest takeaway here from Saturday afternoon in Yankee Stadium, man.
There's so many things, but I think it's just that the Union are actually for real. I mean, we kind of knew this already, but you never really know when you come into a season. And 4 games is still a really small sample size, but you're starting to see the teams that have it together and the teams that really don't. And the Union are one of those teams that really have it together. I mean, you even look at something as serious as, a starting right back, getting pulled after week 1 for a 20-year-old homegrown, and that 20-year-old homegrown comes in and makes it his position. And there's no doubt, like, at all anymore, like this is Nate Harriel's spot. So yeah, like, I don't know. It's just that the Union are for real for me. Like, they 10 points from 4 games, first in the Eastern Conference, tied for first in MLS with LAFC and Real Salt Lake. So like, they're for real for me. That's my takeaway.
What about you there, Justin?
The one thing that I can definitely say is that Daniel Gazdag is
your boy
just brimming with confidence, and it is so apparent how he's the goal scoring 10 that they were looking for. He's attacking the ball in the box. I mean, first off, Nate Harriel just chef's kiss, just perfect pass. I mean, could not have been weighted any better. Curls around the entire defense, just absolutely bonkers. And Gazdag, like, I mean, if you looked, Alexander Collins is keeping Gazdag onside by a mile because he's the farthest defender back, and it looked good. It on that goal, like you said, if you looked at it, Sergio with the header, Carranza settles that down, pass it over to Bedoya. It's initially behind Ali.
Yeah, that Carranza
has enough time
really
to kind of turn, twist. Look, Harriel's making that run. If you look, and Kevin Kincaid broke it down at a really, really nice video.
Shouts to Kevin
You
Kincaid.
can see the NYCFC left back is having to he's in that holding pattern where he has to either wait or commit. And no matter what, he has to commit to Nate Harriel. But the problem is the pass is so perfectly weighted to Nate, he can't really close out. And it's just a beautiful pass. On the first play, if you look, I don't know if it was unintentional, but Julian Carranza with a kind of a slight, like, he just...
Nah, he meant to do that.
Yeah.
He meant to.
Honestly, we like watching it. We were, our game wrapped up, so we had everybody, we were watching and we're like, did Carranza actually mean that? Because initially you couldn't tell, and it was just the faintest of touches. And I don't know what Tati was doing. Like, he kind of laid off, and then Carranza was just able to get that space, and Ali's creeping back post. And I don't exactly love Ian Joy, but he mentions, he goes, that high line killed NYCFC because it let Ali get a perfect chance. And I will say, for once, VAR getting it right. Because I mean, on that Sean Johnson long ball clearance, I don't know what the NYCFC announcers were looking at. From the earliest moment, we're like, well, one, that feels soft for a red card, but two, you're like, oh my god, that's a handball. That's a handball. That's really a handball.
See, you had the NYC commentary. I had JP losing his goddamn mind. He was like, "How is this not a handball? This needs to be a handball."
Yeah, like
the red card is not a handball. It's like, oh no.
Ronnie Dyla was like flabbergasted. And it's like, you can literally see he uses the arm just to trap it, and I'm like, that's a handball.
Yeah,
regardless if it was intentional, you can't use. But the Union, they made it, and people are like, oh wow, they only had 27% possession.
They don't need possession.
Like, the Union, I keep referencing to when Danny said it. The Union aren't a defensive team. They just attack so well that it helps they have a solid defensive core. And they don't need many chances. And as Mike said earlier, Uwa hasn't even played, and I am so glad that he did not play. And that already this week, we have seen him sprinting at training, that he is full, he is ready.
He's going to not wait, man.
And I think you unleash him on Charlotte. I feel sorry for Christian Fuchs, because that man is just going to get torn to shreds.
Absolutely. So one point I brought in, because I thought because Kevin broke it down perfectly on the Gazak goal, the throw in really is what everything started. So if you guys remember, I was questioning in the DOOP by the River group chat of bringing Thomas Grand.
The throw in coach.
So how much is that an influence into this now?
It's an influence. You joking? Yeah.
And I think that
you guys are right.
Boy, that guy just got more money.
There you go.
And I think that's the thing. I think having a throw-in specialist or working on plays from throw-ins, I think more teams and more coaches are starting to realize that that's an important piece.
Yeah.
Because think about it. If a team's not settled and you throw that ball in, launch a quick counterattack or switch to play, like, it can influence. It's just as good as a free kick. It is just as good as a dead ball situation, because then you have time to, like, you have plays that you can set up. And it was very quick. It was Sergio heading it, and then Karan's, like, it was boom, boom, Ali waits, passes to Nate, and then goal. Like, it was within, what was it, 15, 20 seconds, that play breaks out. It's like,
I mean, everything on that NYCFC field happens within 10, 15 seconds, though. So it's not, maybe we have
baseball games.
To see a similar play on a normal field to know if that's how fast they're going to be on their switches off and throwing. Like,
now the real question is, do the Union get like one of the Yankees World Series banners? Is that how we finally win?
NYCFC didn't. Then we know that for sure.
No one wants those. No.
AK Gaming was really the point. Why am I not watching Colombia right now? There's actually a good point that we brought up before this. CONMEBOL streaming rights in America honestly blows. It is owned by Fubo Sports. I am not paying $20 a month just to watch 8 Colombia matches a year. To me, that just doesn't make sense financially. I do sometimes watch off the illegal streams, but tonight obviously we have to record a podcast.
That's better than what was it, like $60 at one point? It was almost like a pay-per-view price for those rights.
And plus the Cooligans aren't there either, so I'm not going to spend money.
No, they're in Mexico.
Fubo
Yes,
is like they're the you don't want to have to do it, but unfortunately it's better than the other options.
I know.
Yeah.
It's tough too because if Colombia was in a spot tonight where I felt like they could make, I really do not feel like they will make the World Cup, unfortunately. Which is good news. I can be rooting for the U.S. with you guys, and now I'll get all into the U.S. I'll find out about the U20s. Obviously, we got Paxton. We got Paxton, Quinn, Jack, and why am I like Brandon over with the U20s, right? Of the US.
Wild that Quinn was listed as a forward.
He's
been playing a lot of forward for them, and then I saw that play from Paxton to Quinn with that shot fired inside the far post. I was like, okay, Quinn, like.
Yeah. How about that, man? That was nice plays, dude. Absolutely nice plays. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to do something a little bit different, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to continue the NYCFC talk, and of course, we'll also get to the USMNT talk because obviously a big matchup for the U.S. tonight against Mexico. But we're going to allow you guys to come on in. As we mentioned, the link right now is in the comment section. All you got to do is copy and paste it. You can come in backstage. We'll bring some of you guys on here. We want to hear from you guys, and obviously it's a bit of a bye week for the Union, so we kind of want to throw it back to you guys. We want to hang out as we always do, answer your questions. Definitely you can keep throwing it in the comment section as well, as Thomas is giving us some great content as always, Thomas. We always appreciate it. But gentlemen, let's already go backstage because right now I have an absolute Union fan legend. You know him on Twitter as Father of Ben. But please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in the legend himself, Jeff Mitchell.
What's going on?
Hey.
What's up, brother?
Not much, man. Great to see you guys.
It's good seeing you, my man.
I had to wait for Justin to get done his rant. 10 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. What's up,
I was
Justin?
gonna say, listen, that's kind of how this show operates.
Try being on the podcast all the time and having a thought. You have this thought. You're like, I really want to say something. Justin's got like 10 more minutes though. I got to write this down. I'm gonna lose it.
But how big is that win, man? Get the monkey off our back, win in Yankee Stadium, exercise some demons, and just turn the page. I think the best start in franchise history. Like I said, just taking that monkey off our back of winning on that postage stamp of a field, but huge win for the Union.
Jeff, I always think of you as the epitome of a Union fan. I mean, you've been there since day one, like negative like 20 or negative 200th day, right? So when NYCFC came in the league, did you ever anticipate it would take that long to get a win in that crappy stadium?
No, but then again, it's I remember a time back, that it felt like we were never going to win at Red Bull Arena either. The Union have exercised so many demons, especially over the past 3 seasons. It's a whole different ball game now, and people are finally caught on that they can't sleep on the Union. People made fun of us not spending. People made fun of the academy products coming through, but I have the luxury of seeing a lot of behind the scenes, but this leadership and this FO does have a great vision, and everyone's seeing it get executed. Even with Jim Curtin, I goof on people, but I do love all our fellow Union fans. But it's like so many people wanted Jim out, but he was building this culture in the academy, and now you're seeing guys that will go to battle for Jim, and even these new guys like Carranza's getting a little hot tempered, but you got to love that he has a fight for this team already, and he's only been here for a few months.
We need it. We need that. We honestly, can't remember the last time we've had a young, hungry striker that eager to get stuck in, to get into the dirty areas, and maybe he's got to tone down the yellow cards. For
sure, he's got a little bit of first season El Brujo in him, but that's a good thing, man. You can always rein a guy out, but you can never get a guy that excited and that fired up about playing for a team. So yeah, it's like I said, I trust Jim to rein him in, but the fact that he's come in the squad and has been so he was been Philly since the first whistle, and just love seeing the guy play. like I said, hopefully he will ease on the yellow and red cards so he doesn't miss too many games. But I love the attitude.
Yeah, it's wild. And I think it goes to show that, I mean, we all know the dumpster fire that Miami currently is, but it's clear that, like, why was he he's only stuck behind Gonzalo Higuain because of the big money. Higuain has never been a superstar. I don't know why he was brought in to be that quote unquote superstar, but Carranza, okay, maybe not worth $6 million. Like, I think was a bit of an overpayment at the time, but it's definitely clear that there's a lot there, and it's all about finding players in the right system, and this system is easily suited to everything that Carranza wants, and I think that's been a big boom for Gazdag, and I think that's why you're seeing how well Gazdag is playing, is because he has a striker that is willing to drop deep, that can play these passes, and as we mentioned before, this is all without Uwa. This offense has been doing great, and you're missing your key, your off-season signing. Now, I think it was good that he did not play, because given the 2-week break, I think it makes sense. And now, as we've seen this week, he is practicing, and he's practicing at full speed. I think it's huge. And
it's got to cut you off, though. Do you even think the offense? I don't even think they've played that great yet, and that's not a critique, but we're not even firing on all cylinders yet, and they look great. I feel like we haven't played a complete game yet, and that's no knock on them. I just know the ceiling is that high for this team.
And I do agree with you, Jeff. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, no disrespect, but I think we haven't even seen what this team's capable of yet, and they're already looking scary.
Yeah.
Because I still think that this could be a squad that, I know in the past we've struggled with a possession stuff. Well, since we switched this 4-4-2 diamond, we've struggled with keeping possession and attacking in that type of sense. We've been the high press has been. I feel like we've used the high press already more than we've seen last year. And I do think that I want to see that evolution of it. So far, we've done a great job of forcing teams into bad situations, creating those turnovers, but there are going to be those sides who do know how to get out of that. So are you going to be able to hold on to some possession and be able to move the ball like that? So I do see what you're saying, and I think that this is still not a perfect product. And remind you, I mean, we still, like you guys just mentioned, we still haven't seen Ua. We still also haven't seen Carranza together playing. So I think that the ceiling is still higher, and I still think there's more to see, but I completely get what you're saying, Jeff.
And what's the classic MLS statement that you don't even really know what you're getting until about 7 weeks in, which is kind of true. Everyone's finding their footing. We're starting earlier with all the crazy
Long
World
season.
Cup and stuff. Yeah, but this team's primed, and they're deep too, which is scary. And seeing guys like Harry will come in and, just dropping crosses on a dime, and just the composure he has at that age, I see the 4 guys in this chat right now, and I know that we were nowhere near as composed at that age.
Yeah. Oh God, no. If you told me at 20 years old that you'll be a 20-year-old is dropping dimes and controlling players,
putting guys in his pocket.
Having Magno in his pocket, having these players that, and just God, I was not that composed at his age.
So like I said, that just shows the culture that Jim and the front office are building, and even props to Ernst Tanner, because like you said, with Carranza, people were boo-hooing and belly aching before we got Mikhail in, but he was a no, why not take a chance? You get an option to buy a $6 million striker, and you get a free loan for a year. What the hell? It's one of the smartest moves in Philadelphia front office history of all the sports.
Yeah, man.
With an option to buy. We don't even know what that price is, but it's definitely not $6 million that Miami paid.
But hey, if not, you ride or die, and you build the depth at the striker position. But it seems like the guy really loves being here. Like I said, you just see a fire in him. And to me, that's not just him playing for a contract or money. He seems like he loves the squad in the city. So we'll see what happens.
Mike Thomas letting us know that he is not composed yet at this age.
Are any of us really?
No. No, but the maturity of all the young guys, the homegrowns, is pretty amazing. Especially when you see athletes in all the sports at sometimes double the age of these kids getting in trouble and acting like idiots off the field. It's pretty impressive. With the shoulder that these kids have on their head. And like I said, that all goes down to coaching, from Jim at the academy to all the guys at the academy to Marlon at U2. these guys are building a culture and not just it's crazy.
It really is. Real quick about Nate. I was able to interview him last week, and I was trying to get him to talk about how like he could possibly be that next Brendan or Mark to go and be that next homegrown to get a start and then kind of take it from there and then get a big transfer. And I was like, how do you feel about that? Like, have you talked to either of them about that? And he's like, I talked to Mark. He just told me to take it day by day, and that's all I'm going to do. And I was like, all right, well, I was hoping you'd say a little bit more, but I mean, I can't be mad at that. Like, you're a 20-year-old kid who
quiet guy.
Yeah, it's funny too because Mark's a young guy too, and no knock against him, but the fact that he's mentoring Nathan and Nathan's looking up to him, like it just shows you how good of a head these guys have on their shoulders, and it's impressive. No one's getting in trouble. Nobody's at the club on TMZ or whatever. Like, if I had that much money at this age,
you take a shot at Derek Jones, Jeff.
No, but if I had this much money at that age, I would have been out of control. So, props to the kids for, like I said, they're focused, and I love it.
And I think this year that the biggest, the biggest, and I think the most underrated addition to the entire coaching staff front office is having Ryan Richter come in.
Yeah.
But Ryan Richter.
Assistant coach Eldinho.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Think about it. He came through. He played at all those lower levels. He knows how it is to be at that age and to have high expectations placed on you and to how to try to manage that. And I think, having Jim, like having a quality tier of coaches from Marlin all the way up who know, like I said, Marlin brought, he was coach when Ray was at West Virginia. Jack, he knows how to handle these guys. Being able to steer young talent in this way and have them say, bide your time, take it day by day, to instill this mentality in them it's I think it's underestimated how valuable this coaching staff and this front office staff has been to them. And it's amazing that, given that Jim has had the time to be able to help implement this is big. And in the end, I think you just have to look at it and go we dealt with some shit for the first half of our existence, but it's been worth the grind and the struggle, and now we are reaping the fruits of our labor that we never thought. We were like, they're just gonna keep saying that down the line. Well, no, it came true, and we're reaping, and who knows with whatever the sale of Brendan goes in the summer.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
20% of that, the money's just gonna keep pumping back into the academy where it's gonna look good.
Also just look at Brendan, what an ambassador for the club, playing in Europe and having the poise that he has. And like I said, he's another guy. Imagine the head you've had if you saw $50 million price tag on your head. I know I would be a complete idiot. So I'm glad to see that, even his dad, Rusty, and, they focus on being a good player and a good person, which is something as a youth coach that I try to do. Cause, if you're a super talented person, sometimes, you think that you can operate on a different, set of rules than other people, but these guys seem to really put team first. And that's huge. Even seeing the rookies, I know sometimes in the locker room, they have to clean up after the veterans and stuff like that is great, man. I love it.
Well, Jeff, screw the Union. How is our favorite youth team doing? How's Roxborough United doing?
Roxborough United's great, man. We just finished. We did SO5 for winter indoor, and
nice, man.
In the fall before that, the kids won inter-county, so that they're doing great, man. And like I said, it's just about, growing the game. You want good players, but if you're not producing good people, to me, that's a fail. And like I said, you can do both, and the Union are showing that. And like I said, that's why even we're a Union affiliate, because we believe in that too. And it's crazy now that kids, like I tell people all the time, my son was born in 2010, so this generation will not know a team without Philadelphia soccer and knowing that they can play in their backyard because they're seeing all these guys from local get out there and do it is pretty amazing. So like think about even the generation before, like Zach Steffen and Pulisic, like we kind of just missed out on those guys.
Yeah.
But there's so much talent in this region. And like I said, our affiliation with the Union and just seeing my kids look up to these guys. And I'm happy to have them look up to these guys because, like I said, they have great heads on their shoulders. All the guys are awesome. Like anytime I've asked them to sign a ball for a donation, or even just if I have a kid that's having trouble, maybe do a short video for a kid, like they more than willingly do it. And like,
that's awesome, man.
That's just them, I'm not going to drop names. Like I don't want to, but I've had guys do that when I'm like, we even had a kid whose dad passed away, and like players, coaches, everyone was willing to like really pitch in and just like, be there for these kids. And that's not, something that comes with signing a contract. They're not getting paid to do that. And like I said, it's not being publicized. So they're not doing it to look good in the local community news or whatever. Like they just care about where they're from and this team. And it's awesome.
That's the thing is building the key crux, I think, to obviously, yeah, you can be as talented as you want at that age, but if you're not a good person or a good teammate, no one's gonna want to play. Like it can drag down a lot. It can drag down a team. It can drag down a locker room. Look at teams with some of the best talent in the world that just.
What were the Miami Heat doing on the bench last night? Trying to fist fight each
other. Oh boy!
It's that community mindset that. We want to build, and that's the whole with the Union Academy down is the affiliates is we obviously, yes, we want good players, but we want good people as well.
Oh yeah, yep.
It's the people that can build back to the community. That even if you're not a professional player, you give back to the game, you give back to your community.
Oh, there's so much like coaching, cleanups, like so many great things going on with the supporters groups and the team. And philosophy I instill in my kids that Jim Curtin never explicitly said it, but I'm like, I don't care if you're the best guy on the field. I just care that you do your best. Because if a kid is better than you, but he's not doing his best, you can go out there and outplay him by doing your best. And, it's a team. If everyone goes out and does their best, the whole's going to be even better. So it's like,
yeah,
it's amazing what you can achieve when you believe in yourselves and the guys around you and you lift each other up instead of putting each other down. So that's why I love this team and the city, man.
That's some Posidelphia right there.
That's right,
sir.
Posidelphia right there.
I say, Jeff, when's the Dupe by the River Gang gonna get some Roxbury United stars?
We could definitely
need
get
a
some
scarf because Tim's obviously got the scarf set up.
Heck yeah, man! We could definitely get some Roxbury swag in there. And like I said, I can't wait for the day I get to see one of my kids play for U2 or play for the Union. And like I said, in the meantime, I get to watch that look in their eyes when they're watching the guys on the field, and it's an incredible feeling just knowing that you can see that now. Because I grew up loving soccer, but no professional team, so I love seeing that the new generation does not have to suffer through that, and it's a great feeling just seeing the game grow overall. I know we like to bust stones about the other major sports teams in the city, but it is Philly versus everybody, man. We might bust balls with 97.5, but it's like, hey, man, we just want you to acknowledge that we're here. We love you guys. We love sports talk. We love talking trash. Like, just, open the door a little bit.
Yeah, Union fans are pretty much exactly like Philly sports fans.
It's one and the same, man. But like I said, you just got to build the culture. Like I said, I've told this too. You got your Flyers gear on. In the 60s, everyone said this town would never accept the ice hockey team now try to think of Philadelphia without the Flyers, even at their poor streak right now. Like, it's just ingrained in the city's DNA. And, in the 60s, people were like, screw ice hockey. It's never going to make it in this town. So, you just
winning
gotta,
cures all, Jeff.
Yeah, it's all, you go out, win some Stanley Cups, but nah, dude, like, you just got to, earn your stripes here. That's what Philly's all about. They want you to show that you belong here. And I think the Union are showing that big time.
Jeff, one more question before we let you go. Here,
you got it, brother. Anytime.
Obviously, it is National Cheesesteak Day, and you come from I think to me, one of the best cheesesteak towns in Roxborough. Have you driven by Dallas Andrews today? And how crazy do you think it is, or it is right now?
The line is out of control, and I'll tell you guys that there's like the top secret in Roxborough, and nothing against Del Sandro's, but Barry Steaks. He was a protege in Dallas Andros, and he has his own shop here. And that's like, if you ever see the lines are too long, head up to Barry Steaks a little up the road. But yeah, you can't go wrong in Roxborough with cheesesteaks, man. we're very blessed. And even I loved all the banner online, but man, we're so blessed in this neighborhood. Everywhere has an amazing cheesesteak place. So, keep busting each other's balls, but go try every cheesesteak in the city. But like I said, if that line's too long at Del Sandro's, go up to Barry Steaks and then come hang out. I'm like a block away from there, so come hang out.
Hey, there you go. That's why you listen to Dude by the River. That's why we bring Jeff on here to give you that great
insider
information.
cheesesteak
Yes,
info
absolutely.
right there. But I love you guys, and thanks for growing the game and keeping it positive, and love what you guys are doing, and I'll make sure we get some Roxborough swag for you guys in the background.
Let's go.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Jeff, thank you so much, my man. We'll keep in touch. All right, brother?
You got it, brother. Anytime.
Hey, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, father of Ben, Jeff Mitchell checking on in. It's always a pleasure talking to him, man. He's always just like a ray of sunshine. You can never like have a frown on your face when you're talking to Jeff, man. It is always great to talk to him. Tim and Justin, we do need to keep in mind our brother Zach Labasso, who's not here today. But ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard, the Azzurri, what happened? ¿Qué pasó?
As our good buddy Paul Catrino said, cries in spaghetti. It's just, I mean,
crying gravy.
What? Like North Macedonia? Wow, just.
But this is like but the thing is, like, this is the second time they don't qualify, right? But they all won the Euro, which makes this like so mind-boggling to me.
And it's why, like, it was funny that that Zach said that anyone who wins that continental tournament should auto qualify. I'm like, no, this is what makes, like, I guess why this completely makes me disagree with that fact, because the fact that Italy wins the Euros and they're not qualifying for the World Cup because they lose to North Macedonia in a playoff.
The fact that they were even in a playoff to begin with in their Italy is, I feel like it's unacceptable for them after not qualifying in 2018. And I'm not trying to put any bad vibes out there for USA, because I know we also didn't make it in 2018. So, but yeah, the fact that they had to go to a playoff where if they beat North Macedonia, they would have had to play Cristiano in Portugal, and that probably wasn't going to go well for them either. So, yeah, losing the way they did, though, 90th minute. I mean, they took off. Who'd they take off? They took off Insigne and Immobile. Like, they didn't have their guys out there at the end of the game. So I don't know. I don't know what was going on with that, but. Yeah.
And but that's, to me, it's just like, and I do think that is part to do with, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I don't typically watch too much of the UEFA World Cup qualifiers. I'll keep an eye on CONCACAF, and obviously CONMEBOL is really where I'm at, but the competition is tighter than what you guys anticipated to be. And for the nations like Italy, England, Germany, Spain, don't just, walk in against North Macedonia and think you're going to get 3 points there. No, they are very well managed as well. So, Wow. But before we move on to some more international play, any last thoughts against NYCFC? I don't want to just because it was a pretty big deal, so I don't want to just like gloat over it. But any last thoughts over the NYCFC match you guys might want to bring up there?
I will say this again. I think Ali Bedoya is quietly having a fantastic season. Like, as people kept saying, Ali is turning back the clock, man. And I think it's because I think you've seen it since Nate came in.
Yeah.
With the speed that you have with Leon and Brujo to an extent, and now Nate, Ali doesn't have to do these lung busting runs every time and force himself up there. And I think you're getting the best out of Ali. And as I've said, Leon, I mean, it's understated how important he was coming over last year. And what he does, just being the as I say, the dustbuster, the Swiffer of the midfield, cleaning everything up, allows Ali and Brujo to focus on the good aspects of their game. And the midfield is just chugging along. And Ali, again, I've said Ali turning back the clock is really showing that it is great to have all these young players, but it is never understated how important it is to have veteran leadership, and especially veteran leadership like Ali, who is very crucial to, I think, to inspiring and teaching these young players how to really, how to coach them up, how to, pick them up when, because you said you might see him be vocal and animated, but he kind of leads by example on the field. He's not screaming at everybody. He's just he'll take you aside. Like I said, players have said it. They'll take he'll take them aside in practice if he just if he just saying, hey, showing them how to do things. And I think that's the staple of a good leader and why he's been the captain for as long as he's been.
That's true. It just does feel as well that, and I'll throw this to you, Tim. It feels like Ali and Harriel's chemistry has like merged much more smoother than what him and Mbaizo had when they were playing together on that right side.
I mean, it could very well be that. I don't know if Nate does anything better than Mbaizo going forward. I mean, we saw the assist and it was great, but I mean, we always talk about Mbaizo being that fullback that wants to get forward. I think it more so comes on the defensive end, but it could also be the fact that Nate might be more of a humble guy and willing to listen to the captain. And Nate kind of even talked about it when I was talking to him, because I asked him, I was like, how is that partnership with Bedoya? It looks like both of you are kind of clicking. And he was saying, yeah, I mean, like, it's easy when you have someone with that experience. And basically Nate was saying he just waits to hear what Ali's going to tell him. Like, if he tells him to stay back, he'll stay back. If he tells him to run with the guy that's, making the overlap, he's doing that. If he's telling him to, get forward, or, he's playing him a ball down the line, like we saw at NYC, like he's going to run onto it. Like, so I think either the spoken or the unspoken connection that they might have right now is going to blossom into something that's going to be really good for both of them. And I agree with Justin. I think that is why Bedoya is looking like he's turning the clock back a little bit.
Ali's gonna pull Tom Brady in the year. Like, I'm gonna retire, guys, and come back. He feels like he's that young. Hopefully, man. Hopefully we can get that.
Maybe Alcino is going to do it. No, I'm just kidding.
Absolutely. And one last point, what I enjoy most about these two clubs matching up, I felt like obviously the MLS is a much younger league than the other major leagues in America. And I do feel sometimes they do force some rivalries. And this is one where I don't feel like the league has forced on us, but it's like naturally and organically been there. Like, you see the back and forth bitterness from the past couple matches these two teams have faced off against one another. And I think that is very important for the league, for them to gain those organic type of rivalries. The way you saw like Atlanta and New York go at it for those couple seasons when those guys were competing at the high level that they were at. And that's always fun to watch for sure, guys.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move forward here, guys. So to end this, I listen, it is obviously, we all know what is tonight. U.S. versus Mexico, a little late night one at the Azteca. If you're an American soccer fan, what else could you possibly want? U.S., Mexico, Azteca. It's a match made in heaven. So I'm gonna give this to you guys. Obviously, you guys are the USMNT people on the podcast. How are we feeling? What's around here for the U.S. Nation here?
I'm gonna take this one first. I'm
do it, Tim. Let's go.
I've been like up and down all week about this match, and I know, listening and reading all the things that are out there, like, this isn't even really the biggest match in the window. It really is the Panama game that's on Sunday, but it's USA Mexico, and I don't know how I feel about it, because part of me wants to see the second string players come in there, play as best as they can, play their hearts out at the Azteca, see what happens, and then the other part of me is like, nah, F that. Like, throw all the starters out there and try to beat their ass in their stadium and get Tata fired. Like, I'm just so up and down. I can't wait for this game to start, and there's still an hour and a half until it starts. So I don't know, but I know Justin has thoughts as well.
Get Tata sacked. Look at Tim. I love it. What about you, Justin?
Yeah, I've kind of been up and down all week about because listen, Mexico has not been playing well over the last few windows, and if any time to go in and steal a win in qualifying, it would be tonight.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's like the more important game is Sunday, and so it's like in my head, completely going back and forth between do I want Greg to play the A squad? Do I want the B squad? Like, who do you start in the midfield? Who's like running through the permutations in your head, and it's just at this point, which I don't even know if I'll be. I'll probably be asleep by halftime. Knowing me, I will. I cannot guarantee I will be up. I will absolutely crash by halftime at this point. But the more I think about it, and of course, I talked to my dad about it all week, and my dad is, has been around soccer in this country for a long time, and he knows the early days of really rough qualifying. I directly remember 2017, just sitting on the couch, quickly looking at my phone, sort of going, no, like if this draw still happens, like we still got it, and it was like he's like, oh, they're not. He's like, he's still in that mindset, and rightfully so. Of are they really going to qualify? And at the end, I still think they will qualify. I think we've made it more of a stress inducer than it should be. But, I mean, CONCACAF qualifying ain't easy. And, people want to say, oh, CONCACAF should be easy. And yet Italy loses to North Macedonia. Like, that's like for all the crap we get about the USA going down to Panama and losing, England can play San Marino and no one bats an eye.
right.
So, like, I think CONCACAF is its own. As I said, there's a reason it's a noun, verb, adjective. It describes everything and anything with North American soccer. And it's just like, unfortunately, with Brendan's injury, which thank God it was not as severe as we thought, but he's still out for this window.
Yeah.
And Serginho Dest. But the thing about this pool of talent is you have a lot of talent. And
Zard is playing?
Oh, God.
Stop right now.
Stop it. No.
It's going to be Jesus Ferreira. Come on.
Hey, you
Guy's
know,
not much
you know I'm in
better.
on that.
Stop.
You know I'm in
I
on
just
that.
did that because Justin gets triggered every time I say
Yes, it'll
No,
probably start.
you got all these men's national team fans. When they hear the word Yazi and Zardes, like something goes off in the brain, just like.
I mean, it was the I had the same reaction when the Cooligans on their podcast, it was last week's episode, mentioned that Giassi going to the Union would be a great fit, and I'm like, no, what? Stop it! Keep it like I don't hate Giassi, but we don't need him. No, stop
They're
it.
NYCFC fans. They just want to see us struggle. It's fine.
Listen, they'll need him. They'll need him when they sell Tati for $20 million.
Yeah.
Kata, we love Justin's head. We absolutely we stand
Absolutely.
him.
A little bit of turtle wax every morning.
Hey,
It
Ali Bedoya is out here scoring goals. Just
Yeah,
you want him on the national team?
Greg Berhalter, what you doing?
Yeah. New number. Who this, Allie?
Well, I did say there was a point I think a couple of years ago. I was like, well, Michael Bradley's getting calls. Why isn't Ali at least getting at least one call?
That
Yeah, I
was in
never
the dark
understood
times.
that one.
That was in the dark times. We don't talk about the dark times after 2017.
It's like process years for the Sixers.
Like there was the travesty of not qualifying for 2018, then the dark times, and then we came out of that in the Nations League semifinals. There's after the pandemic.
There's pre TNT, the dark times, and Nations League.
Yeah, Yeah.
All right. Well, I did want to bring something up CONCACAF wise, because I'm obviously looking at my Colombian national team. I'm looking at Panama, who I mean, from my understanding, they were going through some sort of a rebuild of their own after making the World Cup in 2018. And yet these guys are in fourth place of qualification. I don't think they'll make the World Cup, but I do find that impressive that they're in fourth in World Cup qualifications. And then I look at their manager, Thomas Christensen, a guy who's played he's Danish, played in Spain, he's played in Germany. He's got obviously that European background, and he's doing a pretty solid job with Panama. And I've always said that about Colombia. Like, we try with Queiroz. He just tactically was just did not understand what he had in front of him and how that would match. And I see what Christian has done and his influence, and that's like what I want for Colombia so bad. But I kind of want up because I do find that pretty impressive what's going on with Panama right now.
Panama is really intense. That's what I have to say. Like they might not play the best soccer. They're gonna keep a bunch of people behind the ball, and they hope that they can frustrate you enough and find the one opening to get the one goal of the game. And I think that's what they did against the U.S. men's national team, if I'm not mistaken. I think they beat us 1-0 in the first game we played them, which was down in Panama. So yeah, like they're not an easy team to play against. That's why they're up in fourth, and that's why they could still qualify. You said you don't see them making the World Cup. They could get one of those
very well
bids. Like they
could get fourth and play. Was it New Zealand or
I
whatever
think they could get third. They play Honduras. They have to come to the U.S., which is going to be tough. But they've already beaten the U.S. And then who?
But I think
they finished their games
in Orlando is a little different, though.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They finish against Canada, who will already be qualified by that point. So they could easily get the amount of points that they need, which is why all of the scenarios right now are just scary for USA, for Mexico, for Panama, and Costa Rica. Those four are fighting for 2 auto spots right now, and it's going to be a heck of a time over this next few days.
I've got to face off now. Is this Panama match? Is that the U.S. and Panama? Is that in the U.S. or in Panama?
Yes,
in Orlando.
Yeah, it's in Orlando.
It's the only home game in the window.
Yep.
Listen, my U.S. men's national team fans, you guys better be swarming Orlando Sunday, all right? Because I know Panama's going to show up.
If it wasn't a Sunday, I was so. I was already talking with my boy Freddie.
Hey, shots of Freddie
about going down there, and I was like Sunday, and I'm like,
yeah.
Absolutely, such a lot of fun. All right, well, I'll listen. We'll end the last couple minutes with my national team right now at halftime. Nothing against Bolivia. Tim's Luis Diaz got the lone goal so far in the 39th minute.
Dude,
so the dream is still alive.
That is real, man.
Have you been watching Liverpool lately?
I have, because they've made me care now that they're going back into trying to challenge Man City. Actually being, in striking distance again. No, but hey, props to your Colombia. If they can hold on, they got one more game after this. They'll be 1 or 2 points out of either a playoff or an automatic spot. So crazier things have happened, right?
It's the crazier thing. Listen, I would love to say if they qualify, I will go to the World Cup, but there's no way I am supporting Qatar whatsoever. So, but I'll do something. I will do something for if Colombia beat, because that'd be pretty incredible. That's, to me, it's almost a miracle.
So here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna have Colombia's going to make it, U.S. is going to make it, and then we're going to have a group that's going to feature England, Colombia, and USA somehow. And Philly Sports Network is just going to implode. It's going to be the worst.
PSN group.
It's going to be bad. And I would have said Italy if they made it to throw that in there. But unfortunate. But yeah,
man. The PSN. It'll be the PSN group, man. I absolutely love it. Give it to us. Manifesting it. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of DOOP by the River. We'll be back at it next week. We'll be previewing Charlotte. Obviously, we'll be back into action with MLS the following weekend. So we'll have a Charlotte preview for you guys. We'll talk about the U.S. matches. We'll be discussing that as well. What other news pops up. Hopefully, the Union give us a little bit of some sort of news. We haven't had too many crazy news going on with the Union, but we'll definitely see.
And we'll have to recap a Union 2, hopefully a win.
Hey,
I'm
how about those
excited.
kits?
I'm excited. I'm excited to go. That's gonna be a fun.
Yeah, Justin's gonna go. I might be going. I haven't decided yet.
I know Mike Thomas is going. I know
Yeah, man.
Rick, Naughty Rick.
I mean,
there's some people that are going to be going to the
We're
game.
playing FC Cincinnati too. So what are we thinking? Like a 10-0 win for the Union? Or
Well, wait, is it Union 2 versus Union 3? Then is that how it?
I mean, technically, who knows? Is Ray
It's
Gaddis
too big. It's pretty funny. Pretty much, right? They're copying everything we're doing here. So it's pretty good. Awesome stuff. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for another episode of Dupe by the River. We really appreciate Jeff and everyone else, Mike in the comment section, Kata. We had AK Gaming as well in the section. Thank you for everyone tuning on in. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. More Dupe by the River will broadcast it every week live for you guys. And of course, if you guys want to check out us on any of the podcasting streaming sites, you can find us wherever you stream podcasts. We are under PSN Radio, and you can find all of your favorite PSN Radio podcasts on there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Justin Gazdag for NYC Mayor Friedberg. That is Tim Lovinguth. Of course, I go by the name of El Parcero Philly, and we're telling you guys